Hello friends and welcome to this lecture on nomenclature. This is the first lecture of a series of about five different lectures of increasing complexity so that you understand the nomenclature very clearly. So let us go to the lecture. So let us begin with nomenclature. I am Dr. Urmila Joshi and given here is my mail ID. In case you have any difficulty during the lecture, you can write a mail to me or you can post your comment on the YouTube and I will answer the same. So, the objectives after studying nomenclature in all the five lecture series, you should be able to write systematic IUPAC nomenclature of organic pharmaceutical compounds of intermediate complexity and write structures of the compounds given the IUPAC nomenclature. Please note that every Saturday I will be posting problem sets for your perusal. So, going to steps which are involved in the nomenclature. For nomenclating any compound, what you have to do is first identify the major functional group, okay, in the structure and then identify the longest chain. First identify the major functional group and then identify the longest chain. Why in this order is because once you identify the major functional group, that should be included in the longest chain. Then identify the substituents and the numbering should be such that major functional group gets the lowest possible number and substituents get as lower number as possible. Okay. The major functional group will be identified with the help of priority chart that I will be flashing. Longest chain should always include major functional group as I mentioned. Okay, now let us see this. The major functional group in the first example is carboxylic acid. So, you have to identify next the longest chain which incorporates the major functional group. Okay, so look at this. How to number? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 in continuation. Na? This is in continuation. So 5 and 6. So what it is? It is hexanoic acid. And at 4 position, there is a substituent that is methyl. So what will be the name of this compound? 4-methyl 6-carbon-hexane. Carboxylic acid, where the carboxylate carbon is numbered in the parent chain, are indicated by oic acid. So this is 4-methyl hexanoic acid. Okay, I am going a bit fast because in 11th and 12th standard, you have done this nomenclature. Next, the major functional group is a ketone. Now, it is not possible to give number 1 to this carbonyl carbon as it comes in the center. On the either side, there are alkyls. So give the lowest possible number and therefore the numbering will start from here. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. Okay. So 5 carbon is the longest chain. So pentane. Okay. What is this? Pentane. Don't complete the E because you have to add a suffix. The suffix will be pentane to -one. Okay, that is a ketone. Now at 4 position, there is a chloro, and therefore it will be 4 chloropentane 2-one. Remember to put a dash between a number and a letter. Just see, here is a letter, number, so there is a dash. Number, letter, there is a dash. Now look at the third example. One instruction to everybody. I am using a red pen because the numbering can be clearly seen in this video, but in the exam, you are not going to use the red pen. You are allowed to use blue and black only. Okay. Now, this is alcohol. The major functional group is alcohol. The numbering cannot start from this end because then the major functional group doesn't get the lowest possible number. So, numbering starts from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. At 4 position, there is a substituent. What is that substituent? This is methyl. So 4-methyl. This is pentane, correct? 5 carbon chain is pentane. Don't complete that E because you have to attach a suffix for alcohol. The suffix for alcohol is at 2 position. So put 2, pentane 2 all. Okay. Next, this is an aldehyde and there is a bromine, there is a methyl group. So, 1, 2, the major functional group is aldehyde, so it should get the lowest possible number and identify the longest chain. So, what happens? This is butanol. At 2 position, there is methyl and 3 position, there is bromo. When there are such multiple substituents, it is always a practice to put the multiple substituents in alphabetical order. Okay, but don't change the numbering for alphabetical order. So it is going to be 3 bromo, 2 methyl. Remember not to use the capital letters. Okay, always use the small letters. And this is butanol. Butane, al. One al is understood over here. You may write, you may not write. Okay, now next, there is a halogen and there is amine. Halogen is always represented as a prefix, whereas amine has a suffix. So, start numbering such that amine bearing carbon gets the lowest possible number. So, this is going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So it is going to be 2 chloro. At carbon number 2, there is chloro, right? So 2 chloro, 3 methyl. We have put in the alphabetical order. The longest chain is butane, 4 carbon chain. So butane amine. I'm very sorry. It has to be butane 1 amine. Okay, butane 1 amine is necessary. Now here, the functional group is amide. Okay, so you start numbering such that the functional group gets the lowest possible number. We are numbering only carbons, remember, we are not numbering the nitrogen. This is pentanamide, correct? And it is 4-methyl pentanamide. Okay. The next. This is the priority chart for your perusal. Just try to understand some things. In case of carboxylic acid, name when used as a suffix. The suffix is oic acid only when you take the carboxylic acid carbon in the parent chain. If you do not take the carboxylic acid carbon in the parent chain, then you use carboxylic acid. For example, I will draw a structure over here. Now, another rule in nomenclature is you don't number alkyl chain and ring systems in continuation. You either take the parent as the alkyl chain or you take the parent as the ring system. Now it will depend on the size. Here, the alkyl chain is smaller, this is larger. So what you do? So it is going to be cyclo. Remember, you are not numbering the carboxylic acid carbon, and so it is going to be cyclohexane 1 carboxylic acid. Getting this? When to use oic acid and when to use carboxylic acid. Use carboxylic acid when you are not numbering the COH carbon in the parent chain. Okay, whereas the prefix is this. Same is the case with nitrile. When you number this carbon in the parent chain, you call this as a nitrile. But when you don't number this carbon in the parent chain, then you name it as carbonitrile, whereas the prefix is sine. Okay. This is the priority order. More details about this we will study in the next video when we are taking multiple functional group exams. Okay. So these are single functional groups. Now here, just see, cyano is the parent major functional group. So number such that the major functional group gets the lowest possible number. Okay, sorry, this is 4 and this is 5. So it is going to be I'm sorry, you can number this like this. Cyano gets 1, this 2, 3, 4 and 5. So at 2 position there is methyl, at 4 position there is methyl, and at 5 position there is chloro. Okay, so the name is going to be 5-chloro 2,4-dimethyl. At 2 position and 4 position, there are methyl group. So you don't write 2-methyl 4, 4-methyl. You write 2,4-dimethyl. And this is a 5-carbon chain. So pentane nitride. Okay. Now coming to this is an ester. So this group you put separately. Okay, this becomes 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is butanoate. So how you will write ethyl? This is ethyl, right? After oxygen, the group which comes is ethyl. Then put a space. Otherwise, here there is no space. Here you put a space. And how you will write? 2-methyl butanoate. Okay, this will indicate, the space will indicate that it is a ester. Now coming to this. Okay, there are 2 ways to name this. One is it can be named as ethoxy derivative of propane. Okay, so if you want to name it as ethoxy derivative of propane, you number it like this. And what will be the name? 1-ethoxy propane. 3 carbons, so propane. So it is going to be 1-ethoxy propane. But there is another way to number this, and that way is slightly different. Just pay attention. You can include this oxygen in the chain. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So it becomes hexane. But at 3 position, there is no carbon. There is oxygen. So 3 oxa. Oxa indicates oxygen. 3 oxahexane. That is also an allowed name, or 1-ethoxypropane is also an allowed. Now, this I have already mentioned. Same substituent occurring twice. Here, at 2 position, there are 2 chloros. Okay, so 2,2-dichlorobutane. Getting this? Similarly, here, at 2 position, there is methyl group. At 3 position also, there is methyl group. So you don't write 2-methyl, 3-methyl. You write 2,3-dimethyl pentane. Okay. Similarly, here, attached to N are 2-methyl groups. Otherwise, without these methyl groups, this would have become butane 1-amine. Now, how to indicate these methyl groups? They are attached to nitrogen. So, N-dimethyl butane 1-amine. Okay? Here, slightly different. Look at this. One methyl is attached to nitrogen, other methyl is attached to carbon number 2. So how are you going to write this? Again, this is butanamine, but at N and at 2 position, there are methyl groups. So N2 dimethyl butane 1-amine. If there are 3 same groups, look at this. This is butanol. Okay, at 2 position, there are 2 methyl groups, and at 3 position, there is 1 methyl group. So 2, 2, 3, trimethyl butanol. Okay, since there are 3 methyl groups, tri. So how does it go? Di, tri, tetra. Okay, if there are 4 methyl groups, you will use a prefix tetra. Now, alphabetization of substituents. As I mentioned, the substituents are to be listed in alphabetical order, but numbering is not necessarily alphabetical order lower number. For example, look at this carboxylic acid. Okay, this carboxylic acid, the numbering should start from here. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so it is 2-bromo-4-chloropentanoic acid. But if the order is reversed, so this is 1, this is 2, still the numbering remains same. But only thing, chloro and bromo have interchanged places. So you write bromo first, 4-bromo, 2-chloropentanoic acid. So mention the substituents in alphabetical order, but the numbering should be as per the major functional group and such that the substituents get lowest possible number. Okay. The multiplier prefixes as di, tri, tetra are ignored in alphabetization. For example, just see here. Let us number this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is 3 position, there is hydroxy, and at 4 position, dimethyl, but that di is ignored. So multiplication prefixes are ignored. So it is 3-hydroxy 4,4-dimethyl pentanoic acid. So you consider M for alphabetization and not B, because this prefix di are multiplier prefixes, so don't take them into consideration in alphabetization. But Some prefixes are not multiplier prefixes. For example, look at this. 4, 5, 6, and 7. So at 3 position, there is hydroxy, and at 5 position, there is cyclopentyl. So cyclopentyl starts with C. So put 5 cyclopentyl, 3 hydroxy heptanoic acid. Okay. Now there is some other thing. Just see over here. If this is the compound that you have to name, if you start numbering from this end, okay, the first substituent becomes at 3 position. Let us see. If you start numbering from this end, the substituents get 3 and 4 position. Okay. But if you start numbering from the other end, if you start numbering from here, the substituents get lower numbers. So you have to start numbering from this end. Okay. So, but substituents you mention alphabetically. So, 3-bromo, 2-chloropentane. But if such a thing is not possible, look at this structure. You start numbering from this end. The substituents are at 2 and 4 position. If you start numbering from the other end, the substituents are still at 2 and 4 position. In such cases, what you do is start numbering this way so that the first, alphabetically first substituent gets the lowest possible number. So it is 2-bromo, red color. I am telling you, red colored numbering should be followed. So 2-bromo, 4-chloropentane. Same is the case over here, cyclohexane. Okay. You can number this cyclohexane as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or else you can number this cyclohexane as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Any which ways, the substituents appear at 1 and 2. Okay. So, which should be taken as 1 and which should be taken as 2? Remember, the substituent ethyl comes alphabetically first. Methyl comes next. So, use the numbering which gives ethyl a lowest possible number. So, it is going to be 1 ethyl. Okay. 1 ethyl. The red numbering is correct. Okay, 1 ethyl, 2 methyl cyclohexane. Okay, so with that, we are ending today's lecture. And if you have any difficulty, if you don't agree with me in any case, please feel free to write to me on the mail ID or mention your comments on the YouTube channel. If you appreciate this lecture and find it useful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so that you will get intimation of further lectures uploaded. Thank you so much.